What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to this channel. My name is Vex, and this video isn't about telling you which car to buy. It's about giving you the mindset to think like a smart car owner so you can avoid regret, save money, and even sell your car without losing out. So, your first car, it's just freedom. No need to get into the bus, no need to call the Uber. You can save tons of money. But if you think like a smart car person, so late night drives, music blasting, windows down, the road feels ahead endless. So, but here's the truth most people don't see. It's also your first car. I mean, it's also your first real financial decision. One mistake can cost you way more than you think. Repairs, insurance, depreciation, and even restrictions you didn't know about that were coming. Before you even think about brands, horsepowers, and how it looks, there's one question you need to answer. What do I actually need this car to do? So, are you using it for daily commuting to work or college, quick trips around the city, long motorway drives on weekends, learning to drive and building confidence, fun weekend projects, or road trips? Because here's the thing, when your car actually fits the job, ownership feels effortless. Fuel, insurance, maintenance, they all stay manageable. But when the car doesn't fit your expectations, the cost quietly sneaks up. Unexpected repairs, high fuel bills, difficult parking. Suddenly, your dream car becomes a headache. So, think of these steps as the foundation. If you get it wrong, and everything else, budget, engine, type, starts to crumble. So, here's the truth nobody tells the first time buyers you can't have it all. Every car sits inside a simple triangle reliable, cheap, sporty. And here's the catch you can only pick two reliable plus cheap, solid, stress free, easy to own, but not exactly thrilling. The second one is cheap plus sporty, fun, fast, and looks great, but repairs and maintenance can hurt your wallet and not reliable. Some of them are reliable, but not exactly reliable. And the third one is reliable plus sporty, exciting and dependable, but expect a bigger price tag upfront and higher running costs. So if you have an income which is passive, you could go for the third one. But if you're starting out, just go for the first one, which is reliable plus cheap. So there's no perfect car, there's only the car that fits your current situation, budget, and goals. So understanding this triangle saves you from chasing the wrong car and wasting money, time, and energy later. Once you picked the type of car, the next big decision is the engine and the fuel type. This can make or break your ownership experience. The first one is petrol, perfect for short trips and city driving. Simple, beginner friendly, and usually cheaper to maintain. Most first cars fall into this category for a reason. And the second one is diesel, great for long motorway journeys because it's fuel efficient. But here's the catch, if most of your driving is short trips, diesel engine can develop expensive problems like DPF blockage and injector issues. And in the winter, it's not an easy one to maintain. And the third one is hybrid. It's a mix of petrol and electric, excellent for city driving because fuel consumption drops dramatically, but battery conditions matter with the age, so check the history carefully. And the last one is electric. If you're a car guy, I don't think you'll go for that. So no fuel cost, very low running costs, and quiet driving sounds perfect, right? The downside is the resale value. Depends heavily on battery health and how regulation in your city evolves. So if you're choosing manual, It's cheaper to buy, easier and cheaper to maintain, often strong resale in lower budget cars. And if you're choosing automatic, it's comfortable and easy in traffic. Repair can get expensive, especially on older models. Both can work for a first car, but let your budget maintain comfort and long-term reliability guide the choice. So make sure you have the manual license. In that way, you can drive both and be a pro in driving. So real ownership cost sneaks up on you and include insurance, fuel, servicing, tire and brakes, road tax, depreciation, and MOTs, which is yearly. If your car doesn't have an MOT, you have to go for a test. Make sure your car is roadworthy, which costs around £50 in some cities. So that cheap car you thought was a bargain, it can easily turn into an expensive headache if you ignore these hidden costs. So make sure before buying a car, just compare prices accordingly. The smartest move is to calculate total ownership cost, not just a sticker price, before making a decision. So here's a secret many first-time buyers miss. A well-maintained car will outlast a neglected premium one every time. So don't go for a £2,000 German car or anything which has no service history or anything. Just go for a cheap reliability £2,000 car, which I suggest. So it's not about the badge on the bonnet, it's about the history behind it. Before buying, always check the service history, regular maintenance that shows the car was cared for, and the MOT records flags recurring issues or past problems, and how the car was used, city driving, long trips, or track days, all affect longevity. So if a car has driven for around 10,000 miles per year, just make sure you're getting a good one, because that car would be having a lot of troubles or hidden issues. So where you buy your car is just as important as what car you buy. Each option comes with its own trade-offs. So there are 3 places that you can get your first car. One is dealership, more protection and warranties, but usually higher prices. They make the money off you when they get chance. So, and the second one is private sellers. You can get a better deal or a bargain, but you need to inspect the car carefully. No safety net if something goes wrong. And the third one is auctions. Potential bargains, but very high risk. You won't even know what's hidden inside. What whole mistakes are there inside? So not beginner friendly at all. So I would choose a dealer if I'm getting my first car. So I chose my first car from a dealer, which was okay, but I wouldn't suggest, because I bought a German car, because that was not my first car, but in here it's my first car. So I'm just satisfied with the car. So the rule is simple: the cheaper the deal, the more responsibility you take on. If you're not ready to check everything yourself, paying a bit more for protection can save you lots of headaches. So The main point of getting your first car is to avoid the headache, because you could save time, you could spend more time with what you love. You don't need to wait for buses, Ubers, or anything if you are smart enough when buying your first car. Before you hand over any money, inspect the car carefully. It's a single step that can save you thousands later. So check for warning lights on the dashboard, strange noise coming from the engine or brakes, gearbox smoothness. Shifts should feel exactly clean, not jerky. And suspension knocks when driving over bumps, and signs of accident repair, uneven panels, mismatched paints, or welding marks. So make sure you're ready to walk away from the car if all these things happen. So skipping these checks might save time now, but it usually means paying much more later in repairs or hidden problems. So a simple inspection now is equal to a peace of mind later. So you need to know that your mindset should be like this. You're ready to walk away anytime if there's any issues with the car. So paying monthly can feel easy, almost too easy. That shiny number on the screen hides the true cost of the car over time. So financing your first car can limit your flexibility. You're locked into payments even if things change. Interest adds up quietly. Selling the car early can get complicated, because if you haven't finished paying the debt, it would be categorized as financial or something. I forgot the word. Okay, so buying with cash might feel like a bigger hit upfront, but it gives you freedom. No monthly pressure, easier to sell or upgrade later, full control over your money and your car. So for a first car, cash often beats finance. You could get a bigger car or something if you have a passive income, which doesn't stop at all. So because your goal isn't just driving, it's learning to own smartly. So weak resale cars are usually heavily modified, high mileage luxury cars with complex or expensive engines. Buying with resale in mind protects your money and gives you options later. So remember, the smartest first car purchases isn't just about getting on the road. It's about staying in control of your money. So older car might look like a bargain, but there's a hidden reality. They come with growing restrictions and costs. They faces emission zones restrictions in many cities, higher road tax as they get older, limited buyer demand when it comes the time to sell. So here's the rule. If older car isn't rare, iconic, special in some way, it usually doesn't hold its value. It's a junkyard or a rust bucket. So daily driving an ordinary car is getting harder every year. So between rising costs, restricted access, and low resale demand, what looks cheap today can turn into a headache tomorrow. All I'm saying is you don't need a 20 or 25-year-old car. Just get cars after 2010, which may get you a better resale value if you're selling within 6 months or 1 year. So, final chapter, the last but not least, Your first car doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be forgiving. So look for something that teaches you how ownership really works, doesn't drain you. Your money on repairs, fuel, or insurance can be sold easily when you're ready to upgrade. So you need to make sure you get all these 3 points. So your dream car will come later. You got time. You're making your own decision, so make it a good one. So your first car is the place to learn the rules of the games without paying the full price for the mistakes. So once you understand this mindset, you stop buying cars emotionally. You start owning them intelligently with control over your money, your freedom, and your options of the future or for the future. So you need to understand why you need a car. So make sure it does the job. So these are the 14 things that you need to know. So that's the full breakdown of buying your first car. The triangle, the types, the engines, the cost, resale, and even future proofing against regulations. So remember, your first car isn't about flash, speed, or showing off. It's about learning, protecting your money, and settling yourself up the smarter choices later. So think ahead, inspect carefully, and always buy with both road and your wallet in mind. So now it's over to you. Use the guide to make a decision you won't regret and treat your car as a tool, not a trophy. So make money, get your freedom, and do whatever you can, because you only live once.